Hello, it's TheChudude here, and welcome to another edition of the Weekly Rant. Today I'm joined by Baseballlover and TheChudude. How are you guys doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, great guys, great. First of all, we would like to talk about the Criterium du Dauphiné, because it was the Froome versus Contador showdown. It's what everyone has been talking about this last week, except for the actual football World Cup. In cycling news, it was Contador versus Froome. And first of all, TheChudude, what did you see in this heads-up match? I know you made a video on this, and it actually went kind of viral in our community.
Yeah, I think, well, we saw that was really interesting. A lot of people would have thought Froome would have dropped Contador, and that stage showed how close it really is between the two. Froome didn't drop Contador with that crazy attack, and we start to wonder now who's better, who's going to come better in the Tour. And I still think it's going to be Froome, simply because I think he's a more rounded rider. He's got the TT probably better than Contador, and the way he rides is probably a bit more better than Contador. I think his high cadence is the way Contador rides, he likes to attack and like mix up the acceleration, and Froome's going to spin, and if he follows Contador in the attacks when it comes tough in the last week, Contador is going to start cracking earlier than Froome, because I think the way Contador rides, we've seen in the past when he just sparks the whiteages, he just the rest of the group just rides their own tempo, ends up catching him. We saw that last year in the Tour a lot, and definitely could happen this year. I think at the Tour, obviously Contador's a lot better than last year, but Froome's just, I think, at a whole another level right now, and I only think he's going to get better. The way he's riding the Dauphiné looks like he was on a bloody training ride, so who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
What do you think, Baseballlover? What do you think about the high cadence claim that TheChudude is making?
Well, I think that Contador, once he got his special stake back, I think he's a lot closer to Froome. I think that, we didn't really see that in the Tour last year, because I think Contador tried not doping for a bit, and it didn't work. So he went and got a Spanish meet, ate it in France. He's all prepared. But on the other hand, I think that Froome has obviously the better time trial. He went full retard. If it was any other rider, you would have seen Contador just pop around at the end of that stage and take it. He didn't even come off the wheel. I don't think he could. Froome just went. Yeah, Froome just drills it for. He was attacking, quote unquote, attacking for like a K.
Yeah.
Well,
he was still accelerating.
Froome was leading out the whole group for the whole last 5 or so Ks the whole way. He was doing all the pacing. Talansky tried to do his weird attacks and really got nowhere.
Talansky was brilliant. Talansky, you did not, everyone's like, oh, who's gonna be able to follow? And then Nibali gets dropped, but who's right there? Talansky. Talansky finishes ahead of Nibali. Everyone watch out. Hashtag Talansky the Tour 2014.
It's going to be a good
He's
sign.
going to get top 5.
But
top 5.
I think people were saying about Chris Froome's attacks are, like, Chris Froome attacks off the front, so it's easy for people to just quickly hang onto his wheel. Like we saw Contador. Contador is glued onto his back wheel, but what if Froome attacked from the back? Like, do you think Contador would he have had problems following his wheel if Froome would have gone to the back and then do a surprise attack, and then everyone else would have trouble matching the pace? What do you think, TheChudude?
I don't think we'll even ever see that. That's not possible, because we've seen every single time in the way. Sky is so predictable. What they do is pace with the whole team. Once they run out of teammates, Froome attacks. That's been happening the last
3 years.
However long mountain stages they've been doing, all those mountain stages. It's the same tactic, and the problem is solving that tactic. A lot of people struggle with a high tempo, and with a high tempo it suits Froome's running style as well, with the high cadence. And if Froome does come from behind, maybe I think Contador will still be able to follow him, because Contador has got a lot more explosive power than Froome, I think. But Froome can maintain it longer, I think. So I think Contador could keep up, but okay. I don't know. Yeah.
Previously, Baseballlover stated that Contador probably found his beef Well, someone that found an inhaler in the stage which created a lot of controversy is apparently Chris Froome has asthma and he's allowed to use an inhaler. So in the stage, I think it was stage 3, it was a breakaway stage, it didn't really matter. But Chris Froome used an inhaler on like live television. You could see him plug in the inhaler, plug in the air, like get the external air and all that. And people were going crazy on Twitter. It's like, isn't that illegal? And fun fact, this is thanks to Cosmic Catalan on his facts. 2 years ago, Alexander Bataki actually got a suspension for abusing an inhalator. What do you think about this, baseball lover? Think it's cheating to use an inhalator?
Oh yeah, he's got asthma. Just like he got better because he had a parasite. Oh yeah, definitely.
You know a fun fact? He said he was asked afterwards. He's like, so why do you use this inhalator? It's only when I'm like nearly cracking. When I don't have anything left, I use this inhalator. And it was so stupid.
When I'm cracking, I use an inhaler. You know, you don't just use an inhaler because you need to be able to breathe a little nicer. You use it because you have freaking asthma. Okay. So shut up, Chris Froome.
In all seriousness, though, Cheetah, we read an article. Could you explain that article?
Well, it was very, or let's just say, the article was very in detailed and had a lot of scientific sort of words that I wouldn't even understand. But basically, to trim it down, it said that it doesn't really have any performance enhancing benefits. It doesn't really help you. You're more likely to have side effects that will cause you to your performance to decrease from like all the nausea and side effects it produces. So apparently it doesn't with all the scientific research they've done. I mean, also with asthma, it doesn't. Just because you have asthma it doesn't stop you from becoming a good athlete or even an endurance athlete. I think there's a lot of really good athletes in the past that had asthma and they've flourished. One name that comes to mind is David Beckham as well. He had asthma. He used the inhaler a lot. But again, cycling is a whole different story. I mean, I don't think the inhaler will really matter that much at the end of the day.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Well, you have to think though. You know, we're all assuming this is just regular old inhaler with some asthma medication in it. No, maybe the Sky Mystery drugs are in there, and they found a way to get it through the inhaler. And now, every time he inhales, he's inhaling dope, and then that's why he went full retard.
Who knows? I think the ASO would be checking those. I think during the Tour de France, if Froome brings his inhalers, I think when they do the doping controls, they should probably check the inhalers. Like I saw last night. Oh, what do you want to say?
Also about inhalers, Orica Greenwich, one of their riders used an inhaler. It was on the backstage pass.
Yeah, but there's just because he has asthma, not because he's putting the inhaler dope into the inhaler, and he's getting all the vaporized EPO, and yeah.
Well, you know, fun fact: when the doping controls guys come, they check everything you own. I saw a tweet last night from Kruijswijk on Belking. It was during the Spain versus Netherlands game, and like the doping control came, and he was drinking Red Bull, and they even confiscated the Red Bull and checked it for doping.
Well, isn't it like when what was his name? I don't remember. Was it Van Impe?
I'm not sure.
Kevin Van Impe, where he was like his baby, like his child, it was like a baby, like died, and so he was gonna miss. But he was supposed to report to a doping control, and they like found him, and he was like, "Can we please do this tomorrow?" And they were like, "No." He's like burying his child.
What? That sounds so cruel. Oh, sad. Yeah. But I think we should move on from all these sad news and go on to something that's not really gone yet or started yet. The Tour de Suisse. Most people consider this a bad stage race. Like you also see by the level of competition here, it's not considered very well because like you see you have your Froome, Contador, Nibali, and all these guys at the Criterium de Dauphiné. Meanwhile, the Tour de Suisse, you have Rui Costa, Bradley Wiggins, Matthias Frank, Roman Kreuziger. The level of competition is not that high, but that doesn't mean the entertainment level won't be as high. I want to hear you guys top 3 and why in the GC. You can start, TheChudude.
Okay, top 3 first. I really think what's his name? Kreuziger will do it. Second, Malma, and third, Costa. I mean, Costa has had a good record here in the past. He's won the last 2 years, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think someone like Kreuziger is in really good shape. Well, it's hard to tell now because guys these days don't do that much races. They do a lot of training camps, and someone like Kreuziger has probably done a lot of that after the classic season, and it's going to be interesting how he does, because he's going to be a key support for Contador in the tour if he does, perform well here. He's going to be the go-to guy for Contador, I think.
What do you think, Baseball Lover?
I think I'm gonna go on a limb here. I'm gonna give the win to Malama. I think that he did very, very well during the Spring Classic season. Obviously, that doesn't show much now in terms of form, but it shows that he's been pretty good this year in terms of getting results and his ability. So I think he's gonna win. I think he's gonna win the race, and I think he's gonna win the race over Kreuziger. I think Kreuziger is pretty good right now. And then I think that maybe, I don't know, maybe slot in Wiggins there. Costa usually does pretty well. Pinot could do well, but I'd slot in Wiggins.
Well, Wiggins all depends on his Commonwealth Games form. Like, how much does he really care about Tour de Suisse? Like, is he trying?
True.
Is he trying to get on the tour team? Like, is he trying to make a case for himself, or does he just not care and realize it's no longer a possibility? But I gotta say, like, I would love to see Mollema in the yellow jersey. I've actually never seen it before. In the 3 to 4 years that I've been intensively watching most of the cycling races, I haven't seen Mollema in the yellow jersey before, and I would like to see him like just right away in a mountaintop finish. Most of the time when you see Mollema, you see him with Froome, you see him with Contador, you see him with these big names, and he always ends up 3rd or 4th.
Exactly.
Or
he's always right up there, but he's never like winning things.
Exactly. You could envy him that. And now he basically has to win things now, because Wilco Kelderman, his younger protege, is winning stuff now. At least he won the white jersey in the Giro d'Italia, right? No, Quintana. He got second in that.
And he looks promising at Dauphiné as well.
Yeah, he's got to watch out, though.
No, because Fabio Aru got second.
Oh, he did? And third, he got third. Close enough. He's still better. He's still better than Robert Giesing, the old upcoming talent, and
Giesing still is an upcoming talent. Give him a few years.
But speaking about Wilco Kelderman was linked to Orica Greenwich, and as an Australian, what do you think about this? How do you feel about a Dutch guy coming down there? You already have Jens Morich and Peter Wiener.
Yeah, well, Wayne's great. He's awesome. But Kelderman would be a nice fit. I don't know if he's the right person, but he certainly fits into the group. But I feel like they still need a more experienced guy. If it's Kelderman, maybe bring in another guy and help groom these young riders. I mean, if you look at it, Kelderman's only like the same age as your Yates, all those guys. They're all in the same 3 or 4 years. So you probably need one more guy just to help it all. Calibrize it up and speed it along, because I don't think if you don't have any like older riders to support them, they're going to get the best potential out of him. But he's going to be a good rider. We can see it already. I think he could be a future contender. Definitely going to be a good rider, I think. Hopefully he comes. It'll be nice to see.
What do you think, Baseball Lover? Do you think he'll do good, or do you think he'll just be like another Giesing?
I think that Giesing, like I said before, give him some time. I think he has a lot of potential, and you can't just, grade him on what he did 6 years ago or what he did 5 years ago. Anyway, I think that Kelderman would be a pretty good fit there, but now you got Kelderman, you got like Yates, but you don't have any domestiques whatsoever. Weening, maybe. Albacini.
That's what they're building.
Those are like
they won't
decent
follow
guys,
the mountains,
but
so.
they're not going to be able to follow. They're no, Froome, Wiggins, Port, Keenoff, Cataldo, Kirienka, Sitsoff, Train.
I think they're trying to develop these young riders like the Myers as well, to develop into those support guys. I don't know if they have it there. I mean, maybe they could do that. Who knows?
I honestly think they should buy Wiggins instead. Get Wiggins or Richie Port. These guys are already developed. Just get one of those instead.
Just buy Froome. It's that easy.
According to Cyanide, it is. You only have to pay $1 million for
unlimited budget.
Oh, yeah, that'd be funny. Speaking about Saxo Bank's unlimited budget, Oleg Tinkov actually wants to buy Peter Sagan. And Alberto Contador came out with a statement saying he would love to ride with Peter Sagan. And one of the reasons for that is because most of the pressure would be relieved on him, because there's every year the Tour de France is, Contador is the only guy that can match. Quintana and Contador are the only guys that can match, and Quintana isn't there. Whoa, my God, there's so much pressure on him. But now that Sagan also is there, the pressure's also on Sagan to win the green jersey, and that would relieve some of the pressure on Contador. Baseball, what do you think of this? Do you think Peter Sagan will be a good fit on Tinkoff Saxo Bank?
Oh, I don't know. That kind of just goes into the Oleg Tinkoff. Let's buy everyone, and I'd like to see him stay at Cannondale. To be honest, I like Cannondale as a team since they were liquid gas, and they've lost basically everyone. Nibali they lost Basso to age. they now if they lose Sagan, they have Viviani left. Who else? You know, and they would definitely be in danger of losing their World Tour license. I would not want to see that. I'd love for him to stay at Cannondale, and I think that Oleg Tinkoff, he just wants to buy everyone. Contador's making it out there. I'm sure there'll be an offer, and I'm sure that it will be. There's a possibility that he goes there, but I just hope he doesn't, personally. And I think that, you know, maybe Oleg Tinkoff will decide that he wants to buy someone else because he wants to buy everyone. So,
what do you think, TheChudude?
Well, Sagan, I think will suit well with Oleg. I can see him becoming great friends. I mean, Sagan loves to do his wheelies. I think Oleg Tinkoff likes to be in the front of the newspapers, and with Sagan doing wheelies and Oleg probably learning from him, we can see some good things there. But in all seriousness, I think at the tour, it'll be interesting if they do have Sagan, because you think Team Saxo will go for Contador or Croix going to Grand Tours for the next 5 years or so. How does Sagan fit with that? Do you build him up as more of a classics rider now instead of a sprinter? Do you build him up to try win Roubaix, or do you still keep him at the tour? So that's one of the dilemmas if they do get him, I think. Mm-hmm. But I think they should get him. It'll be fun to watch, I think. Definitely on a team like Saxo.
But I think that could happen though. Like I'm comparing this to Mark Cavendish and Team Sky back in the day. Like they wanted to get both the yellow jersey and the green jersey, and also the mountains jersey.
And the next year Cav's gone.
Yeah, and it just Cavendish did he win like one sprint out of like 7 or something like that?
He won 3 sprints. One of them was from a small group that he got into. One of them was and then he won on the Champs-Élysées.
But that's underperforming for a guy like Cavendish. Cavendish
he used to get like 5-6 stages.
Exactly, he's got the guy. He's on his way to win like the most stages ever in the Tour de France.
Cavendish was mad as well because they weren't working for him, and he had to go by himself, really. Yeah.
But I think like when you see Peter Sagan sprint, he's more of an independent sprinter. He doesn't need those 5 guys to lead him out and put him in a perfect position. No, he's an intelligent rider. He finds the right wheel and he goes for it. So I actually think this could work out. And as a Tinkoff Saxo Bank lover, I would love to see Peter Sagan.
What about Benatti? Where's the love for Benatti?
Nah, we'll see Murkov.
Yeah, Sagan, all he needs to do is follow Kittel's will. Like he doesn't need to come first. He can just come third every single time and get those intermediate sprints on and win those stages on the climbs. I mean, he could do that.
But see, I would love to see him go to Saxo Bank. I mean, Saxo Bank doesn't have much to be proud of. Like, last 2 years, we haven't really done much. If we don't win the Tour de France this year or do something spectacular, I think we'll lose a lot of integrity. And I really want to see a guy like Peter Sagan come here and just be, like, the diamond on the team. Be the guy that just lights up the team. Because currently, the stories of Contador's doping and Kreuziger not winning anything, really. Michael Murkov and Matty Burchell are like the highlights on the team right now, which is really sad that 2 mediocre riders have to win the most for them. So, yeah, I think. But now that we're talking about the tour, there are 2 other topics we'd like to discuss about the tour. Big headline is Carlos Alberto Betancourt being a diva once again. Last year, he had attitude problems. He wanted to go to another team, but the team wouldn't allow it. Like, 82R didn't want to sell him. They wanted to keep him, which I do not understand why. And now again this year, he's doing some sort of action and staying in Colombia, his home country, and probably won't go to the Tour de France or the Tour de Suisse. What do you think about this, TheChudude? Would you work with a guy like this?
I mean, the guy's got so much upside. Everyone still wants to see this guy ride, because we saw him at the Giro last year. He can perform, and I think we're still missing him do well. We've seen him do well on those little stage races. We're waiting. I mean, this year was going to be the year, the big stage of the tour. He was actually targeting this, and I think we're missing out a lot because I don't know. Like, what was wrong with him? Like, I think he was sick or something, wasn't he?
That's an excuse, though. You can definitely tell when someone is trying to cover it up. It's kind of like the Sergio Henao thingy earlier in the year when they put him away because of suspicions. Well, it's basically the same here. They're just covering up as he has a virus of some sort. Same thing.
Yeah, so maybe he goes to the Vuelta and does well, because the Vuelta does have stages that could suit someone like friggin' Betancourt, but he's got that really high acceleration. Maybe he does become a classic rider and try to win Liège, but he was supposed to go for a white jersey this year, and I really wanted to see him go for that, because he could have really win that this year, really, without Quintana.
He won Paris-Nice this year. He won that, so he's pretty good.
Yeah.
What do you think, Baseball Lover?
Baseball Lover?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Ben Kill, what do you think?
Oh man, he's just a little party animal. I mean, I've even heard that like they wanted him to stay in Europe because they wanted to keep an eye on him, and he just went off and started partying in Colombia. He's got a lot of talent, but he's very, very into like
he's young,
basically,
really, and
yeah, he's just a young guy, and he does his own thing. And,
yeah, he has no limits. He just goes all out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, at least he lived a good life. That's kind of lifestyle. So I mean, another one who is just, I mean, Joaquin Rodriguez is going to the Tour, but he's not targeting the Tour. He's targeting the Vuelta a España later on this year. He just wants to go for stage wins. I mean, this is so weird. Like, I don't get, why would anyone go to such a big race or a long race in July with warm weather and everything and just target stage wins?
I
You can
know.
actually win it. Like, what do you think of this move? Like, what do you think of this move? Is it smart or is it questionable? Or?
I don't know. Like he's going to be. We saw him just really struggle at the Giro. I don't know if he's recovered from that yet. He probably has if he's gone to the Tour. Maybe he can go for stage win and maybe pull out before the last week hits and rest up for the Vuelta. Because I don't see him winning the Vuelta at all if he goes to the Tour. He certainly needs to, I think, maybe get some competitive racing in. Maybe that's what it's for, the Tour. Just get some competitive racing in and then pull out in the last week and then be in tip-top shape for the Vuelta maybe. But he's definitely up in the age and still hasn't won a Grand Tour. And you want to see someone like him win the Grand Tour. So I don't know what suits him best, really. I don't know.
I mean,
They've
doesn't even fit the
tailor-made
team.
the Vuelta.
What?
They've tailor-made the Vuelta for him the last couple of years. The short, steep finishes at the end. I mean, if he goes there without riding a GT for the rest of the year, and he's on good form, I think he could win it. But the problem is that he'd rather go to France and get stage wins,
It's crazy.
which he's never going to get because Froome's in it.
I think he's searching too much to. I think he's trying too hard. Really, I think he should just keep it simple, like what Horner did last year. We saw him get injured early on, and he comes in Vuelta like the fresh guy, and that might happen again this year because Horner's injured again, and he's going to be going to the Vuelta as his first Grand Tour. Maybe someone like Rodriguez should maybe think about considering doing that. I mean, he's getting older in the age as well, and you really think this is probably the last year where he can probably win a Grand Tour, depending on how he ages and.
But also, it doesn't even fit into their team. Like, they specifically stated that they're going for Alexander Kristoff this year. They want to try and win the green jersey. They think that Alexander Kristoff can follow in the mountains and sprint in the end and be fast enough. I mean, so where does Rodriguez fit into a sprint train?
He doesn't.
I doubt he'll pull a Wiggins. Like, you know Wiggins that one year in the Champs-Élysées where he decided to pace for Cavendish? I doubt Rodriguez will do that on a daily basis. So he doesn't even fit into the team.
I think that, you know, if you're going for Kristoff, you can't just go for Perito as well. And then you can't rush him into the Vuelta because you even saw in like 2012 where Chris Froome went to the Tour. He was one of the strongest. He went to the Vuelta. Even he couldn't keep up. He was fourth.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's funny.
Tour is taxing.
Well,
the Tour is taxing mentally and physically. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, something you don't see every day is a big GC contender going for stage wins instead of the actual GC. Well, Tweet of the Week also this week features something you don't see every day. In the Tour de Korea, there was this Sonier car with all the bikes and stuff on top that actually crashed. Somehow, on a downhill, they managed to crash their vehicle. How the heck do you wreck your vehicle like this? I mean, I don't even. I would have loved to see cycling footage of this, but sadly, Tour de Korea does not show any footage. But I mean, this just sums up the entire Tour de Korea. I bet it was a mess. But Thank you guys for watching this week, Weekly Rant. Please go and check Baseball Lover's channel out. Please go check TheChudude's channel out. If you're watching on or if you're listening on SoundCloud, please like this on SoundCloud. I still don't know what it means. How do you do it on SoundCloud? If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a like. Please, in the comment section, give us some topics from next week if you follow this. So, thank you guys for watching. Have a good day. I wish you guys the best of summer vacation.